Your imagination is God essence, because nothing can exist without first being imagined. So therefore, creation itself is the imagination. So if you can imagine a specific situation and you want something, and desire is the seed for all growth and expansion. Without desire, nothing would happen here. So you never want to shut out your desires. You never want to stop yourself from desiring. If you've ever felt like you were destined for more, you're in the right place. It's time to break out of the box you've been placed in. The world is waiting for your light. Hey friend, thanks for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about manifestations, and specifically how to know and identify when you're getting closer to your manifestation, or if what you're doing is helping move you along the way to get closer, or whether you're actually blocking yourself and going the opposite way. Sometimes with manifesting, we talk about feel it into your existence. Think about it, talk about it, dream about it, do your vision boards, do your affirmations, and that sets into motion everything that's needed for your dream to come towards you and become your reality. But sometimes people say, like, well, I'm doing all that stuff and it's not happening for me. The thing is not coming, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I want to give you like a little cheat code that will help you identify when you are doing the actions that are getting you closer and when you're not. Okay, and I want to give you this example, and the simplest example that I can think of that I'm just going to use is manifesting money. So let's say that you want to manifest $10,000 a month, and you're doing all the things and the 10,000 is not coming. The reason why it's not coming is because even though you're doing all of the right things, you are also at the very same time noticing that it's not here. And every time that you notice that it's not here, you actually create like a counter move. So on the one direction it's coming, but on the other side, you're pushing it away. So it's like imagine like a train car, and the front car is pulling it one direction, but there's another caboose on the other end going the opposite direction. So every time that you notice that it's not here, every time that you doubt, every time that you get down, every time that you have all of these negative feelings about money, about your financial situation, the car is getting pulled the other way. And so now you have a train that's essentially stuck. It's not moving forward, it's just stuck because you have two forces pulling on the opposite end. So what's really important is to get yourself into a state of belief and faith, and like fully and completely. Because the thing about manifesting or asking for something that you want, you don't have to keep asking. You really only have to ask one time. Once you ask one time, there's already stuff going in motion, and it is on its way. But sometimes we just keep asking, and we keep asking, and we keep asking, and we keep and by doing that, what we're doing is like essentially we're digging up the seed. So you planted the seed. You want to grow a peach tree, you planted your seed, and you say, thank you to the universe that my seed is going to grow, and now I'm going to water it, and I'm going to give it all the things that it needs to grow. But then the next day you get impatient, and so you dig it up and you look, is it growing yet? Is it growing? And so every time that you dig it up, you destroy it, and you are ruining its ability to do what it's gonna do by constantly noticing that it's not yet happening for you. So in this example that I want to give with the money, pretend, and this is how you know whether or not you're 100% aligned and going towards the direction of your desire, in this case, the money. So pretend that somebody sent you a letter in the mail, and in the letter it says, congratulations, you've won this sweepstakes, and in 9 months from now, you will be receiving a $10,000 check in the mail from that point on until the rest of your life. Okay? You've won. It's happening. But it's not happening right now, but it's going to happen. The first check's going to come in 9 months. Now imagine your reaction to this. How do you feel now knowing this? So the money's not here yet. You still have to wait. But for the next 9 months, are you waking up stressed about the bills? Are you waking up stressed about small debts that you have, or some events that are coming up that are going to cost you some kind of money, or a trip that you've been wanting to take but you feel like it's never going to be able to happen for you because financially you can't afford it? So now all of a sudden you're not stressed about those things anymore, because now you know that money's coming. So you're waking up every single morning with like a pep in your step. You're waking up every day excited. You're probably going to work in a really good mood. You're happier. You're kind of talking to friends and people, and you're interacting in your world with a different sort of attitude, with a different outlook, because all of those worries just kind of fell away. Now, pretend that within those 9 months, some little thing came up, some expense, and maybe you had to borrow a little bit of money to get something repaired or to pay that expense. And now, are you worried about that small debt? No, you're not worried, because you know in 9 months you're going to be getting 10 grand every single month until the day you die. So even if you take out a $1,000 loan right now, you're okay. You're going to be able to pay that off in once those checks start rolling in. So if you can imagine this state of being when you have this information and this knowing that it's coming to you, that is the exact state of being that is required for your manifestation to come. So it's this complete knowing. It's not that I think it's gonna happen. It's not that I hope it's gonna happen. It's just a full and complete knowing that it is on its way to you. Don't give up. Don't lose hope 6 months in, because remember, the check's coming in 9 months. So it wouldn't make sense 6 months in to just be excited and happy and making all the plans for all the things you're going to do, and then 6 months in it's still not there, so you completely are losing faith. That wouldn't make sense, because you know that you've just got 3 months left to go, right? But in real life, when our manifestations are on their way to you, you have no way of knowing the timeline. You have no way of knowing the how, the when. But your job is to focus on the details of what it is that you want exactly, and then let it go. Just let it go and imagine it that it is on its way to you. If you want a house, imagine the house right now, where it is right now. Imagine the people that are living in it are starting to think about listing it up on the market, and they're starting to pack up their boxes, and they're starting to put those pieces into place, and that house will be coming up for sale soon. Or if there's a car that you want, like a brand new car, imagine where in the process of being built it is right now. Imagine the pieces of the car getting put together at the factory right now, and getting painted and assembled and all these things. So imagine the process unfolding. Imagine all of the different things that need to come together in order for it to happen for you. Start envisioning it as if it was already, all the parts are getting into motion for you because it is on its way. But don't expect it to appear right away. You have to be patient, and you can't keep digging up that seed every single time to check. You just have to trust that it's doing what it needs to do as long as you do your part. Your part is to stay in your faith. Your part is to do what you can. Stay in your high energy vibration as much of the time as possible and do the actions that you're called to do that you believe will lead you closer, and then believe that it will be enough. You just have to do it, and then you have to say, I do what I do what I can, and the rest is on God. And I do what I do, and what I do is enough. And that's it. And then you let it go into the universe. The other piece of this is to also recognize when your manifestations start happening. Sometimes, and I know I've done this a ton in the past, so we have an idea of what we want, but we want it in a specific way, and if it doesn't come in that way, we completely disregard it. So let's say your dream is to have a boat. You want to have a boat, you want to be on the water, you want to fish, you just want to be out there on the water. So you're envisioning yourself in the boat, out on the water, out at sunrise, out at sunset, doing the things that you love, jumping off the boat, swimming. So you're doing all the visualizations. You've got the vision board, you're doing your affirmations, you're doing all your things. You're thinking about your boat. And now, let's say a few months go by and your neighbor gets a boat and he invites you over and says, hey, I got this new boat, come on out with us. And you go out with them and you have a great time, and then maybe he invites you back again, and maybe for the whole summer you're going out all the time now with your neighbor because you're friends. And instead of recognizing this as your manifestation actually came into the physical reality, it actually went from your imagination to your real life because you're now experiencing the thing that you wanted. And instead of sending out gratitude and recognition that you did it, you created this, instead, oftentimes what we do is we send out a vibration of jealousy and even stronger desire, maybe, because now it's like, well, he got it, but I didn't get it. I wanted the boat. My neighbor's got the boat, and I still don't have one. And so what happens? All of the energy that we send out, we get back. Like there's a mirror effect. There's a reflection that's constantly happening. So when you send out the energy of strong desire and envy, you actually attract and create more situations that will cause you to have those feelings, those envy and desire feelings, because that's what you're projecting, that's what you receive back. So while I understand that, yes, the boat came to you not in the way that you wanted it, because you wanted it in your backyard on your beautiful dock in the back of your beautiful house, which is what you have on your vision board. But give the credit where the credit is due. Offer gratitude that it came, that you're now experiencing this thing that you've really wanted to experience, and here it is. And when you offer gratitude, you receive more things to be grateful for. Like, have you ever heard the saying, what you appreciate appreciates? So don't be envious of your friend. Be grateful that you're a part of this. You're a part of this manifestation. And now you can go back in, get a little bit more specific on your personal desires, that maybe you were just saying, I want a boat, but you weren't specific enough, saying, I want it in my backyard. I want the the title "In My Name" paid off in full. So you now have an opportunity to go back, get more specific on the desire that you're requesting, and give gratitude for what already showed up, and thank you more please. Thank you more please. Thank you more please. That's the correct way to speak to the universe. That's when the universe responds back to you and gives you more, instead of just giving you more things to desire or more things to feel envious of. So it's kind of like that joke. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but there was a man that was adrift in the middle of the ocean, and he was, lost out at sea. And he said, and he prayed and he said, "Dear God, please save me. I know you'll save me. Please save me, please save me." And he believed in God, and so he had faith that God would come save him. And then a rowboat came by, and they waved out to him, and they said, come on in, we're gonna rescue you." And he said, "No, it's okay, God will save me." And then so they left, and then a few days later a big ship comes by. Come on in, we're gonna get you back out on land." And he says, no, I'm okay, God will save me. And then a few days later, helicopters in the area, and they're yelling out to him. They're throwing the ladder, like, "Get up, get in, we want to rescue you." And he says, "No, thank you, God will save me." And then a few days later, the man drowns, and he goes up to heaven, and he meets God, and he says, "What the heck, God? I believed in you. I thought you would save me." And God says, "I don't know what you want from me. I sent you a rowboat. I sent you another big boat. I sent you a helicopter." And that's sort of the image that you can keep in mind as you're going through life, and all of these things are happening to you, and you're creating all of these amazing experiences. And at the very same time, you're looking for something else. And you keep saying, like, "Nope, this isn't it. Nope, this isn't it." But this is it. Every single one of those experiences counts as a creation of yours that you've done. Every single thing starts first in someone's imagination, and then it can become physical reality. There's nothing here in the world, from the lamp to the chair to the helicopter to anything that exists, that you can hold, that you can see, existed once in someone's mind, and it became an obsession maybe for someone, and they tried enough times until they found the way to make that thing a real thing, a physical object. And so if that is true, and it is, because you can conceptualize this, that means that anything that you think of in your mind has the ability to become a real physical object or experience for you. It all starts in your imagination. I've been reading a lot of Neville Goddard these last couple of months, and it's really fascinating material. I'm really loving it a lot. But he makes these references to that your imagination is God essence, because nothing can exist without first being imagined. So therefore, creation itself is the imagination. So if you can imagine a specific situation, and you want something, and desire is the seed for all growth and expansion. Without desire, nothing would happen here. So you never want to shut out your desires. You never want to stop yourself from desiring. Through your desires, you grow and expand, because through your desires, you have to become the person that is required for you to become to make the thing the thing. But if you can imagine something, and that is the God essence that creates everything on this earth, then the only thing that limits you is your imagination. The only reason why you can't get the thing you want to get is because you're not spending enough time imagining it, feeling it as if it was already yours, and then moving on accordingly with your life. Like, it's already mine. I can now move about my day. I can now get back to my life. I don't have to keep stressing about it. I've imagined it. I've put it out there. I've planted the seed, and that seed is doing its thing and it's growing. So I can move on, as if the paycheck is 9 months away. I don't have to sit there and be depressed for the next 9 months because it's on the way. If you can imagine it in your mind, you no longer have to keep asking and keep begging and keep praying and all of this, because imagination is all you need for something to become a thing. But you still have to nurture it and do your part, do the thing that you need to do, that you know that you need to do, and let it keep growing on its own. Try really, really, really hard not to keep digging up that seed, because every time you dig it up, you are disturbing it. One last story that comes to mind, and I think of this often. I want to share it with you so that maybe you can remember it the next time that you have doubt in your life. When my husband Mike was sick a few years back, he went to Ecuador and he found healing there. And he was there for a few weeks. And when he got home, I said, "So what happened? What, are you healed? Are you good?" And he said, "I've already talked to God and it's done." And that was his response. And when he said that, I knew that it was. Because that was, and this was even before I studied any of this law of attraction stuff or manifestation type of material. But it resonated, and I knew that it was done. Once it's in your mind that it is done, that it is coming, that's it. So the only appropriate prayer ever is just thank you. Because in the asking, you're admitting that there is a lack, that something's missing. So by admitting that there's something missing, you're cutting yourself off from the stream of abundance that is always flowing to you and through you. So it doesn't make sense to ask in the sense of please, may I, can I. It only makes sense to imagine yourself already having it, imagine yourself already on the other side of it, and then just say thank you, and it's done. Thank you, and it's done. So I hope this helps you a little bit. Let me know in the comments if you have a topic that you'd like me to talk about next, or if any of these types of ideas resonate with you, if you've tried them, if you've had great results. Let me know, share your stories. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll talk to you soon.